Life is a series of experiences. This is an article from the book Vicharavithi, written by Swami Adhyatmananda Saraswati, Sambodh Foundation, Kerala. Life is a series of experiences. To the question as to what life is, many a philosophical answer has been furnished. Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda Ji defines life as a series of experiences through which we evaluate the positives and negatives. Let us reflect on these experiences. Gurudev also emphasized that experiences consist of three essential factors: the experience itself, the realm in which the experiences occur, and the relationship between the two. We can refer to these factors as the experiential trinity. The process of experiencing unfolds in a certain sequence. An event takes place and information enters the individual through the senses. The mind collects them and then transfers this information to the brain, where memories of past experiences are invoked. In the presence of these memories, the current information is processed and becomes an experience. It's important to note that each individual judges every event differently, resulting in dissimilar patterns of experience. From the perspective of the experiencer, experiences can be categorized as favorable or unfavorable. As these experiences arises, individuals prepare themselves and their responses vary from person to person. It has to be recognized that even silence can be a type of response. In short, life unfolds itself through a series of incidents, experiences, and responses. Experiences and belief in a divine power. Behind the vast and diverse universe, comprising countless galaxies, there has to be a mastermind of a supreme intelligence. Who is the master behind it all? What are the qualities of this supreme being? Human intellect has pondered these queries with great curiosity. In ancient times, the wise envisioned this supreme intelligence as the divine administrator known as Ishvara. Ishvara, or God, is believed to be omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent. According to the philosophy of Advaita, the ultimate goal is to recognize that this power itself manifests as creation. Advaita Vedanta Darshanam is in a strong position as to furnish answers to many a question regarding creation. The concept of God and the related ideologies put forth by other faiths are not being considered here at present. Given the circumstances and limitations, it is prudent to accept and acknowledge the existence of a supreme power, God. It can be inferred that denying the existence of such a God or dismissing the need for one is not conducive to a healthy state of affairs. Philosophy and the nature of God. In the philosophy of Advaita Vedanta, which exposes the concept of non duality, the nature of God or Ishvara is described as Sachidanandam, existence, consciousness, bliss. This philosophical insight suggests that God, in the state of Sachidananda, manifests as the universe without itself undergoing any change and subsequently governs it. Upon closer examination, the scientific and logical foundations behind this concept can be understood, particularly in light of modern scientific observations. Permissions in the practices of worshipping God. In Sanatana Dharma, based on the fact that everything and being is essentially divine, that is, God, permission is available for devotees to adopt any method for worshipping God. The criticism that such worshippers follow polytheism is totally misplaced. The primary goal envisaged is to achieve equanimity and settle in peace, identifying Lord as the core and cause in everything and being in this world. Though Lord is beyond all names and forms, perceiving Him with some name or form is not unjust in any way. The selected medium should symbolize something auspicious. This instruction is currently prevalent to establish connectivity with the distinctiveness of the subconscious mind. The prescribed practices, that is, puja vidhi, of idol worship aid in the evolution of the psyche. It is noteworthy that it has been repeatedly emphasized that spiritual congregations, that is, satsangs, are necessary for aligning rituals with philosophy. Viewing God as a savior who grants our wishes and worshipping God through various means brings immense solace in worldly life. Additionally, we develop an awareness about the intricate workings of the law of karma or karma phala siddhanta. As we progressively assimilate the philosophy, we will be able to serve Lord by serving the world, where the well-being of others becomes our own personal fulfillment. Ultimately, the essence of non-duality becomes our blissful experience. Monotheism and polytheism, exploring perspectives. There is a growing belief that monotheism is simpler and lacks the complexities of polytheism. However, in the modern era of advanced science and technology, providing a flawless explanation for the existence of a God operating from outside this world and governing it becomes challenging. The concept of a judgmental God who holds preferences and determines the allocation of heaven or hell needs to be examined closely. The ideology of a single God in non dualism does not prohibit the adoption of different symbols or their worship. People are unique individuals, each starting their journey from different emotional and intellectual backgrounds. A variety of rituals and symbols serve as useful tools for their spiritual progress. Through these practices, individuals are uplifted and empowered to realize the underlying singularity amidst the diverse manifestations. The use of mediums such as idols does not complicate their path towards realization. Once one grasps the essence and follows it sincerely, a sense of comfort arises. Behind the polytheistic rituals and practices which aim to realize the power of non dual God lies a profound and highly imaginative bent of mind and highly creative cultural and artistic instinct. These diverse approaches provide a framework for seekers to connect with the divine on their individual paths. Reflections on God, reflections on eternity. The Lord, who governs both the gross and subtle aspects of the universe, embodies the essence of non duality. The Lord, as the sole cause of the universe, permeates everything and serves as its substratum. Thus, contemplating the imperishable nature of God alone leads to contemplation on eternal existence. From the ultimate standpoint, pondering over God means reveling in supreme knowledge, that is, Tattva Chinta. Drawing wisdom from personal experiences, engaging in satsangs or spiritual gatherings, and studying scriptures collectively prepare individuals according to their unique dispositions to embrace and appreciate the teachings of philosophy. Insights from personal experiences. When it comes to people's faith in God, their individual experiences often lead them to make different decisions. One group of individuals, upon receiving blessings, become grateful towards God. They engage in various forms of worship and strive to attain spiritual awareness in this lifetime or beyond. In the face of progress, the brickbats of adverse experiences will not persuade them to develop antagonism towards God. This is because in their perception, God is not an individual entity anymore, endowed with personal preferences or likes and dislikes. On the other hand, there are those who, even in adverse circumstances, never doubt the compassionate nature of the divine. Despite diligently following the path of God, still encountering tragedies, questions such as how to believe in the benevolence of God if the experience proved to the contrary do not disturb them at all, while others may directly or indirectly raise such questions. If the questions arise out of genuine compassion and love, those devotees respond by providing a more accurate understanding of this theological perspective. Instead of succumbing to cynical mockery, They rather offer thoughtful responses. They possess the maturity to uplift even those who doubt. Some individuals hold steadfast to traditional beliefs in God. However, when faced with repeated hardships in life, some of them may become intolerant and start questioning the existence of God, possibly drifting towards atheism. The issue with this group lies in their inability to intellectually and logically analyze and internalize the concept of God. As for those who claim to have grown closer to God due to their problems and crises, it cannot be taken for sure that their understanding of God is perfect. If their faith lacks logical reasoning and discernment, there is a chance that their beliefs will be questioned. Faith in God might simply serve as a refuge sought during desperate moments, and such devotion and worship could potentially lead to psychological disorders. Devotion rooted in knowledge. Regardless of how an individual's concept of God originates, it must be refined through wisdom. It is essential to contemplate and acknowledge that Ishvara or God is the underlying cause and substratum of the universe. One has to become aware that the fundamental principle of non dual Satchidanandam takes on the form of this diverse universe without itself undergoing any change. Therefore, God should be recognized as Sarvavyapi or omnipresent, Sarva Andaryami or all pervasive, and Sarva Atitan or transcendental. Healthy and thoughtful reflections. Human intelligence, with its inherent ability for cause and effect analysis, should not succumb to preconceived notions and conventional beliefs. Placing a primary emphasis on the pursuit of truth enables one to sharpen their intellect. But for due vigilance, there is always a high risk of squandering this precious intelligence on trifling things. Why is it that inquiry into truth and contemplation on God is highly significant in life? Inherited genetic messages or one's own inherent tendencies govern an individual's character. They influence desires, thoughts, words, and actions. However, passively adhering to these influences only reinforces existing limitations and further weakens oneself. It is on recognizing this infinite potential that the dictum, "freedom is my birthright," gained meaning and has been widely propagated. Leading a life solely driven by accumulated tendencies is an animalistic approach which does not guarantee peace. Uncertainties and unpredictabilities will always create roadblocks in the course of life. Driven by an inner urge to break free from limitations, Humans have delved deep into the existential complexity, seeking to understand the systems and conceptualize and worship a supreme intelligence behind creation. Extensive studies and in depth analysis have been conducted in this field. Scriptural studies. It is advisable to follow the path of the Vedic rishis, the spiritual scientists. This approach is not against material well being but also offers ample opportunities to gain knowledge of the true self, liberating oneself from the clutches of materialism. Great teachers who have attained absolute freedom through knowledge will undoubtedly guide their followers, providing great solace. Chapter 12 of the Bhagavad Gita imparts lessons on devotion to God. It explores the characteristics of devotees who harbor unconditional love for God, who is the ultimate cause and substratum, omniscient and transcendent. The qualities of devotees that uphold noble human values transcending religious boundaries are universally acceptable. It is worth noting that pure love based on knowledge or wisdom hardly allows the discomfort of servitude to be disturbing. Devotion enables the intellect to realize the ultimate goal of life and brings about emotional blossoming. In this context, I would like to share certain experiences where learnings from philosophy and devotional approach proved really fruitful in practical life. With this, I will conclude.